Hey, Paul, what's up, brother?
How's it going, Dr. John?
I'm good, my man. What's up?
So, we'll just get the question out there. So, how do I process my wife's affair and rebuild trust in our marriage?
What happened, man? Tell me about it.
So, I guess a little bit of a concise backstory will help. So after we were married about 10 years, my wife told me that she was bisexual.
Okay.
And we both come from an extremely conservative religious background.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a bit of a twist.
What led her to that the declaration of a new identity? Did she have an experience or two, or did she find women attractive? Like, where did that come from?
And she's always been attracted to women and men since puberty, and because of stigmas and taboos, she was just afraid to ever say it to anyone.
Okay. So she said it to you. How many years ago is this?
Let's see, we've been married for almost 14 years now. That'd be about 3.5 years ago.
Okay. How'd that conversation go?
Remembering back to it, she's like, I have something to tell you. Might want to have a seat. And she told me, and honestly, when she told me, it wasn't that big of a deal to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because, it's not something she's ever acted upon. I guess just having a secret like that for so long, she finally thought she had to, finally had to get it out.
Yeah. Okay, so fast forward last 4 years. Sounds like she acted on it?
She did. So, about a year ago, not even a year ago, 7-8 months ago, that whole side of her kept coming into conversation more and more. And then a few months ago, she's like, oh, I have this friend, Christine, and she's bisexual too. Her husband knows all about it. And I'm like, okay, I don't care who you're friends with. Just promise me that you'll keep it platonic. And she said, of course, I'll keep it platonic. And then beginning of September, she did not keep it platonic.
Yeah. So we have this weird moment in history where inside of this, what I would call the ride or die covenant, that phrase, till death do us part, is somehow secondary to the emergence or the, for lack of better, for the honoring or the outward stating of a new identity. And just personally, brother, I reject it. I'll all day long, man, you're attracted to who you're attracted to. But she looked at you and said, till death do us part, right?
Right.
And so here's why I'm telling you that. You're not crazy for feeling betrayed. And there's supposed to be some sort of lessening because it was with a woman. There's some sort of it was a betrayal, dude. And you're not crazy. You're not weak. You're heartbroken as you should be, man.
It was sort of surreal because I spent my career, I'm in the legal profession, dealing with broken families and child custodies. I never thought that one of those scenarios would ever pop up in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. Here we are, man. It's almost like you, if you're like me, you spend your whole life trying to help other people, and man, it's like you get caught off guard because there's this little, I don't know, stock ticker that runs in the back of my mind, like I'm depositing into the great bank of karma. So since I've been so helpful and kind to other people, bad things should never happen to me. Right? Since you've spent your whole career helping people as their marriages are falling apart, it's not allowed to happen to you, right? And then it's even more like it hurts. I think it hurts worse. I think it catches you off guard, right?
Most definitely.
Yeah. All right, so here we are. So the big question for me to you is, do you want to stay married to this person?
I do.
Okay. So what must be true?
And if there's one thing I can't stand, and that just like the biggest thing to me is dishonesty.
Right.
I have to be able to trust.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you again. What must be true? What is rebuilding? Not going back, because back is over. What was is no more. You have a new marriage that you are interested in rebuilding. The old one's gone. Because the old one was built on curiosity and honesty and trust. And in fact, I would say a really deep level of trust. And that's over now. And so what you'll have to do is look at a fresh piece of ground and say, we're going to excavate that and we're going to put big, deep footers in it. We're going to rebuild this whole thing. And awesome. It could be a testament to what's to come. It could be amazing. What must be true for your wife to reestablish trust with you?
I have to have verification of what she's saying.
Okay. So you need to see her phone. You need to see her computer. You need to know where she is.
Not necessarily where she is, but if she says, like when she said she cut off communication with the other party and wanted to, be 100% with me. Mm-hmm. I still haven't asked to see the message where she ended it.
So here's what you have to do. You have to get over all of these shoulds and maybes and I don't knows. You have to be honest with yourself about what must be true to reestablish trust. You get to dictate that, and then she gets to say, I'm in or I'm out. And I'm not saying that everything you put on the table is going to be rational or even make sense or even be helpful. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
I find it as a guy who works in the legal profession, I find it weird you haven't said, I want to see those texts. That probably would have been the first place I went. Why haven't you wanted to look? Are you scared there's something else?
I'm scared that my trust would be misplaced, believing her, just taking her on her word.
And let's keep digging. What would be true underneath that?
And if she isn't being truthful, then it's done.
Okay. That's what we're scared of. And that's what I want you to go straight into. Here's why. Let's say there's an alligator between you and your vehicle that you take to work. Instead of dealing with the alligator, calling animal control, getting that thing out of there, you're going to build a complex system of roads and sidewalks and elevators and trampolines, all these different contraptions to get around and over and underneath this alligator. And you're going to add complexity on top of complexity on top of complexity. And as Nassim Taleb says, the more complex a thing is, the more likely it is to fall. It's going to fail. It'll crash. And your body will know that you're tightrope walking. Your body will know that, I don't know, what? It will know. So head directly into it. Otherwise, you're going to make yourself crazy because your body's going to be solving for reality all of the time.
Okay.
And by the way, if you tell your wife you're all the way back in too, we're going to figure this out, and you're not, then now you're the one not being honest.
Absolutely.
And you know as well as I do, being in that profession, you can get a backlog of texts. You can go get everything that was written back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's what you need for peace of mind, then go get them. And if she says, I don't want you to see it, or I already deleted them, I'm sorry, I forgot, you know how to get them. And if she says, I don't want you to do that, you can't do that, y'all need to address that. And then, by the way, we can build up this fantasy that once I finally see what was written, what was texted, what was emailed, that there's going to be some catharsis. It's often still really painful, man.
I imagine, yeah.
And so here's the homework. The homework is to begin to say, okay, not as much as what are we not going to do, right? We're not going to communicate with that person. We're not going to text other people. If you I'm putting this on the table. If you violate our covenant again, if you cheat on me and lie to me again, I'm out of here. Or you are opting out of our marriage. What are the things you are going to do affirmatively to begin to bring y'all back together and build something new? We're going to go on a walk every morning together before we go to work. Every night after our son goes to bed, we're going to go out on the back porch and have a glass of wine and go through 5 things that were good and 5 things that were hard about the day. Like, what are the things we're going to do affirmatively to begin building this stuff back? Because most of the time people, they say, I want to see your phone. And you see the phone. Oh, you're actually telling the truth. Okay, it was a one-night stand. Or it was a couple of weeks or a couple of months or a year, whatever. It's over. All right. And then you go right back into the same life. And you're just back to watching The Office, back to just working really late with your laptop on your lap, back to watching TV till you fall asleep. And that same underneath your life, that same nagging, not playful, not erotic, not alive in your own skin, in your own home, that's still there. And that's what we got to deal with.
Okay.
Is that fair?
It is.
And by the way, if once you don't get over, once you walk through the betrayal together, this idea of creating a life that you guys both want to be living is one of the funnest, most adventurous, most exciting things a couple can do together. Because you get, the deck is cleared, man. Your house got blown away. You get to build something new. What do you want it to look like? But that's for later. Right now, it's time for being sad. I'm sorry, man. In your guts, you've known this woman for a decade. Do you believe her?
I do.
Okay. It's awesome.
I mean, the only thing she ever kept from me before was a surprise guitar for her birthday. So
that you know of, and maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's step number 1. We're going to both say 5 secrets we've kept from each other. They can be big ones or little ones.
All right.
And you might find some stuff out and go screaming into the night, and you might find out some hilarious stuff.
Okay.
But Lego piece by Lego piece, brick by brick, concrete poured by rebar, by all of it, we're going to rebuild something, and it's going to be very, very slow. Here's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to send you, but by the way, what I'm going to give you is not going to heal anything, okay? It's just a tool, right? I'm going to send you all of the Questions for Humans couples editions. I've got 1 and 2, and then the third one just came out. It's brand new. And I'm going to send you the Questions for Humans Intimacy edition, okay? It's brand new.
Okay. Thank you.
And here's what I want you to do. As part of the rebuild, every night we're going to do 5 of these things. We're just going to go through 5 of the cards. We're going to write stuff down. We're going to laugh. It's going to be silly, whatever. And it'd probably be worth your time to get a good marriage counselor too, just to walk with you. Although sometimes I'm hearing more and more marriage counselors saying stupid stuff like, well, just like it's run its course. I don't believe in that. I don't believe marriages just run their course. I think people decide to opt out. And if you opt out, you opt out. But you want to get somebody that was interested in the rebuild with you. Walk through it with you, help you process stuff. And you're going to have stuff that needs to be put on the table. She's going to have more stuff to get put on the table, all that. But maybe this big moment will allow y'all to rebuild something stronger and arguably more beautiful than what was. Slow and steady. But the first thing out of the deck is you have to say out loud, here's what must be true for me to reestablish trust. And let's go 2 weeks at a time. Because it's going to shift in 2 weeks. I don't need to see your text anymore after 2 weeks, but here's what I really need. I need you to go for a walk with me and just tell me how the day was, up or down. I need you to hold my hand. I need you to be open to it. And don't be punitive with that kind of stuff. I've seen people be really just moronic with their trust establishment. I need you to re-roof the house, just whatever. But I want you to be honest about what you need and give her permission to be honest about what she needs. Let's rebuild this. Let's rebuild something amazing, one step at a time. You know what? Hang on the line, too. I'm going to hook you up with a free live stream. My friend Rachel Cruz and I are doing a money and marriage live stream. I'm going to hook you up with a link, and for everybody listening, we'll link to it in the show notes here. Actually, it might be over by the time this episode comes out, I think. But we'll get you guys hooked up, Paul, and you and your wife can watch it and tune in with us. Thanks for the call, brother. I wish you guys the best.